Shock Monkey Radio is entertainment for adults, by adults, and the views and opinions expressed here do not reflect upon the sponsors or FXBG Public Radio. For additional information, please refer to the United States Bill of Rights. Stand warned. I was hanging out with a friend, 70s style, just hanging out with this hi-fi system. He's a vinyl collector, collects records, and so he's hanging out 70s styles, just drinking beer and taking out albums, playing them, sitting in beanbag chairs, talking about music, like we used to back in the day, And he pulls out this one album, blows dust off it, says, "You should hear this." Pulls out the record, puts it on the turntable, starts playing it. There's several songs on it, and I was like, yeah, it's okay, But there was one that really stuck out to me, and the lyrics go, when she woke up late in the morning light, and the day had just begun, she opened up her eyes and thought, "Oh, what a morning. It's not a day for work, it's a day for catching tan. Just lying on the beach and having fun. She's going to get you. All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow, boy. All that she wants, all that she wants." Ace of Base, I think, is the name of the group. I'm not unfamiliar. But I was listening to that song, and it really struck me because that is the deepest song on the entire album. And it's basically just one girl saying, that Tammy? She's a slut. That's the depth of that song. Ace of Base has the depth of our gene pool, basically. I'm kidding. I'm making a joke, obviously. What kind of psychopath would own Ace of Base on vinyl? Welcome to Shock Monkey Radio. I'm your host, the Madman. It'd be funny if I pulled one out, right? Welcome to Shock Monkey Radio. I'm your host, the Madman. We got EK on the boards. Had a little trouble getting the thing rolling, connecting. Sorry for such mistakes. Looks unprofessional. I get frustrated. You can follow me on social media. Over here at DNALETSAW on Twitter. That's the word Wasteland spelled backwards on Twitter. At SLRobbins13 on Instagram. And damn it, I haven't been updating the Facebook. Facebook is Shock Monkey Radio Redux on Facebook, and I haven't been updating it. Sorry, I'll get to it. It's busy Christmas season. Anyway, you can also go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio and maybe be able to give me money that way, or you can send me money through Cash App, depending on where in the world you live, apparently. You can send me money through Cash App. And, I don't like talking like behind the scenes kind of stuff a whole lot, but I feel like there's a couple issues I got to talk about because I recently had a conversation with a patron. Somebody wanted to celebrate Christmas season by becoming a patron, and they had a hell of a time. They live in the Democratic People's Republic of Canada, and so when they sent me money, Patreon said, "Oh, we're canceling your account because of suspicious activity," and that like pisses me off hardcore. Number one is like, you're Canadian, you can't spend your money on what you want to spend your money on. And two, is that like my show, my content is on some list somewhere as under like subversive or something like that. Like, how can you possibly take me seriously? Anyway. And so this patron, is trying to become a patron, and it frustrates me because if somebody wants to sign up and become a patron, if somebody wants to send me money through Cash App, I want that to be an easy as process as possible. So I'm wondering if there's any people out there who like tried to become a patron. All right, and I'm not talking about like my mom. My mom said I wanted to become a patron, but I can't figure out the computers. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do it for you. I'm not that desperate for your $3, Mom. Thanks for everything else you've done for me, but it's just $3 after all. Between, since we go way back. So, but if somebody is like a casual viewer of this and like I want to send him, become a patron or something like that, and they live in Canada or some other country where the laws are real strange about because I had a conversation with this guy about all this was going on. I was like, you remember those truckers that protested and the Canadian government like shut down their accounts, froze their accounts and stuff like that? That stuff is crazy. That's craziness. And so, if you've had any trouble trying to like get access to Patreon or send me money through Cash App and had any trouble with that, would you please like comment or something like that? Let me know. Don't put it in the live chat. That doesn't get saved and I can never see it again. Sorry, those live chat. But like comment on the video and tell me if you had any issues like that, because that really concerns me and I may have to go change from some other service other than Patreon because this is ridiculous. And what else is behind the curtain? Yeah, it's getting close to Christmas now, so I might as well spill the beans. I'm going to invest in some like merch, Shock Monkey merch that I'll send out to like patrons and so forth. Sometime after the new year, I want to test the products. I want to, order one of each of what I'm going to get and see if they look good, if they're good enough for my fans and so forth. Then I'll send out like a package. Right now, I'm thinking I made a deck of cards. You can get a deck of cards with the Shock Monkey on the back of every card. That would probably be in the merch pack I'll send out to patrons. I was also thinking like a big like beach towel, because I could do t-shirts and stuff like that, and I may do t-shirts just for myself for the show. But t-shirts, you got to worry about sizes and all that nonsense. But a big beach towel, everyone can use a beach towel. And the Shock Monkey logo, I don't know if you know it, just the monkey head with the stars and bars for lightning bolts. Somebody said that to me. It's like, that looks like a Confederate flag. What? The Shock Monkey logo looks like a Confederate flag? I don't know, man. I think you're looking for the Confederate flag. Yeah, we'll talk about that soon, though. But yeah. So the issue is I tried to put make a beach towel with that logo on there, but it's too small. SMOL. That's what they said. The technical term is it's too small. And so and when I tried to save the design, they're like, oh, this thing's too small. It's going to look funny when it's like too big. Like that seems easy to scale, right? Just what EK just did. So, and I suck at Photoshop. So if you want to design a new Shock Monkey logo or like update this one so that I can so I print it on something as big as a beach towel, that would help a lot. You could at me, like, if you know Photoshop at all. I mean, because all I did is I drew the monkey head freehand. And then EK did the rest with computers. San Dimas High School football. So I could really use some help because I suck at Photoshop. I could probably maybe talk EK into tweaking with it. See if I can get something going. Because I want to order like a beach towel. I was also thinking of like a welcome mat. You can order a welcome mat and I'll put the warning screen.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, on the warning mat, warning, Shock Monkey Radio Redux. Direct your ire into the comments. I think that would be cool. But it'd be heavy to ship. Welcome mat's heavy. Beach towel, light. Deck of cards, light. Just keep that in mind. And I'll keep you updated. When I get samples, I'll bring them on the show and I'll show them to you. And so if you dig them, then you can become a patron and maybe get a merch pack. I'm thinking maybe 5 to 10 merch packs. I mean, at the very least, I think it may be like the deck of cards, the beach towel, and maybe a keychain or something like that. Hell, I could probably get EK to 3D print keychains.
Do it all week.
Yeah, you've been doing it all week. Christmas gifts, stocking stuffers. Throw me that. Yeah. They're printing up these little, is it a platypus? They're ridiculous and cute as hell. Anyway, that's awesome. Those things are fascinating. Anyway, yeah, I could use some help with the images and so forth. And I'm sorry if you had any trouble becoming a patron. Pisses me off, And I really appreciate you for supporting me. It's and in many ways, it's like the better compliment is the things you say about my show. Like if somebody says yeah, I'm going to watch this movie based upon your recommendation. That means a lot to me, more than financial stuff in many ways. But please share the show with your friends, help me get out there because, it's weird because I went and looked on YouTube and it's you have to have 500 subscribers before you can even monetize. And I'm like, why? Don't you want a piece of that? Nickels and dimes, I understand, but don't you want a piece of that YouTube? Anyway, I don't get it. I don't know. Do they have to pay that fee when every time you swipe a card, you got to?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. Because that could be an issue. All right, let's talk about awesomes. Let's talk about swipe the curtain back. We're a professional show. Hey, it's the last one of the year, probably. You probably got plans on New Year's, right?
Yeah, yes, I'll be doing sound for a band up at Quantico.
Yeah, okay. So it is the last show of the year. I don't know. I was hoping maybe like a New Year's Eve we'd get here and like do a midnight stream like we did before once. Anyway, let's talk about Wooden Mech Jesus. I saw this like, you know how it is, you get ads like all the time during Christmas and they're all geared towards you. Like I've seen a lot of drum set ads. I guess I've been listening to all the rants I've been talking about drum sets, but I saw this Mech Jesus thing. It's a Jesus on a crucifix that transforms into a like wood mech, and immediately a character sheet filled out in my mind.
Oh man!
When I was
Jesus.
Mech Jesus, exactly. First of all, you make him like a latent psionic in Heroes Unlimited, and you give him like healing and sensitive powers, right? And then you make him the robotics character but it's not like mechanical engineering. It's like carpentry engineering. And so it's an all wood mech suit, and maybe it shoots nails or something like that.
APS wood.
Huh?
APS wood.
That's not as fun as a carpenter who's also an engineer, who engineered that, like the Lord Jesus is a carpenter, but he made mech suits, and that's why everyone respected him back in the day. It's like, here comes Jesus, shooting nails and healing people. It would change like
You've
every.
heard of Iron Man.
Yeah, right.
Let me introduce you to Wooden Man.
Wooden Man. Exactly, because I mean, it's kind of like the Three Little Pigs. It happened in order. There was probably a straw man first. Then Woodman came along, and finally Iron Man. No, then Stone Man, and then Iron Man. Then I guess it'd be Steel Man. No, there's Tin Man, then Iron Man. So I saw this, and it's like immediately an entire character sheet populated in my head. Anyway, I'm not saying I want this for Christmas. I'm not saying that. I'm serious. I don't want this. I'll play with it once, and I have more fun with the character I just created in my mind. You understand what I'm saying? You don't need to give me anything. It's really okay. I can't. The Christmas season, I'm telling you. Just like everyone, I suppose I'm incredibly sad and stressed out during this time of year, and it's okay not to get me anything. And I kind of wish you'd say that to me, because I freaking hate Christmas. Anyway, I love it and hate it. We all. Anyway, speaking of Christmases, I want to talk about my favorite Christmases, because this one has been popping in my head lately. I've been thinking about this one Christmas. You could take away the robot Jesus, Mech Jesus. It's distracted me. So cool. And there's this one that popped in my head. This one Christmas that popped in my head. I was living in Lake Placid, New York. Up until that point, every single Christmas morning, I'm up, the crack of dawn, running downstairs, immediately running downstairs, check the presents. But I remember this one Christmas is the first morning I didn't, because I got up and I was about to run downstairs, but it hadn't snowed yet to that point. And on Christmas Eve, there was no sign of snow. They're thinking it might snow. They weren't sure. Maybe snow in the morning. And then I went to bed. And I woke up in the morning, and it was Lake Placid, so it was like 2 feet of snow. All over everything. And it was like this white blanket. This big, fluffy white blanket got laid over the entire world. I remember I stopped. I was about to run. There's presents downstairs in my head, but I stopped and I looked out the window at this newly fallen snow on Christmas morning and saying, that's freaking beautiful. So even this, it's funny because as the snow melts, everything becomes dirtier, But once that first layer of snow comes out, everything's just so beautiful and pristine, and it looks clean. You know what I mean? You know it isn't, right? You know under that big pile of snow are your trash cans, and you know what's in there. You know what I mean? But it just looked for a second, the whole world looks pristine. And I remember thinking that and said, "Oh, toys," and ran. And I think that was the year I got the Megatron for Christmas. The Transformer. He transformed it into a Beretta 9.2. It was awesome. What's funny is that I asked my dad, because I had asked for Optimus Prime for Christmas. And I asked my dad, "Why'd you give me Megatron, not Optimus Prime?" And my dad said, "I've never seen you play with a truck." And I was like, "Oh, yeah." That's a good point. And I got way more fun out of the Megatron toy in his gun form than I did as the robot form, because the robot form was weird in the first Megatron. His legs were the handles of the pistol, and he kind of stood funny. The stuff they have today, though, I don't want any of it, but I mean, I remember thinking it's like you get the Megatron, right? But you were thinking, I asked for Optimus Prime, and you're thinking, like, why? And so your dad just is smarter than you. He's like, "Have you ever played with a Matchbox car? We've given you Matchbox cars before. They're still in their boxes in your room. You don't touch them. You're not into cars. We get it." And that was a really good Christmas memory. And there's a lot of like good ones, but for some reason that one's been popping up in my head lately. The way like this new snowfall. It's kind of the optimism, and that's kind of what it's all about, is the optimism of the hope for the new world, of a new year. It's a long December, and there's reason to believe maybe this year could be better than the last. And that's what the birth of Christ is in many ways. Even if you don't believe in Christianity, even if you believe, if the sole, I don't know, core of it is the hope of a new life. A baby gets born, and that the possibilities are endless of what that child could do. All right. And so when I look at Christmas now and good Christmas memories now as an adult, it's about, the kids in my life, like my niece having a good Christmas and so forth. It's more about that. And, entertaining my family with my goofy gifts I give them every year. Because that's reflective of my personality. That's why they love me, I think. And maybe they just tolerate that aspect of me. I don't know. But the Christmas is for the kids. And it's all kind of centered around this birth of Christ. And who is Christ? He was the person who changed the world, and I don't think he wrote down a thing. You know what I mean? I've written so many things. I've said so many things into this camera. You know what I mean? There's no possible way I'll ever make a dent on human civilization like Jesus Christ did. And he gave his life to save sinners like me. Like me. He'd save sinners like you too. And that's what the birth of Christ is that the Savior of all our souls came into the world on Christmas Day, supposedly. I don't know if people want to argue about that, but that's the day we celebrated, okay? And that's the point. It's like, Jesus, he saves even a wretch like me, And I'm not worthy of it. And I don't think any of us are, really. But it's God's grace. It's God's grace that allows for new life to come in the world. It's God's grace that just will put a blanket of snow on the world on Christmas morning and say, hey, it could all be better if we all tried. And that's what the Jesus ideal is. It's the highest ideal of humanity, even if you don't believe in Christianity. It's the highest moral ideal of humankind. We can all aspire to, and every single child that is born could become that one, could be the next generation that creates a better world. I don't know. I think it's the point of Christmas is that, peace on earth, goodwill towards men. The love that Jesus shows me humbles me. And so I can't do anything but say, I love you at the end of every single show. give it, because it comes into me for no reason at all, and it has to come out. It has to come out in every possible way I can do it, because guys don't like talking about their feelings, but the madman loves you. I just want you to know that. And I know there's plenty of you out there like, oh, I don't like you. I disagree with your opinion. There's people who will subscribe and then unsubscribe and subscribe again, then unsubscribe. All right, you know what I'm saying? I know you may not agree with me, but even though if we have our differences, the madman does love you. And what I say is I think for the benefit of mankind in many ways. To make people laugh is a good thing. Try to have fun with the sadness in this world. I think that's a good thing. And give goofy gifts at Christmas. So a gift that people remember. Like I give out chocolate. Like I'm broke. I'm always broke. So I give out. This is what I do for Christmas for my family. I buy like big chocolate bars, but they're all different types. Like say I got like 8 people in my house for Christmas. I get like 8 different types of gigantic chocolate bars. That you can get like at a Dollar General or something like that. They're like bigger than the king size. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. But
they're all different types. And then I get like 8 different of the same $10 lottery tickets. And I put each one of each in every bag. And I give it out to people. And I say, here are the rules. You can open the bag. If you don't like the candy, you can trade the candy with somebody else. But if you trade the candy, you got to trade the ticket.
Okay.
And if you work that game out in your mind, it creates for some memorable Christmases. You know what I'm saying? Because what was it? Last year, 2 years ago, my niece's sister won like $200 on the ticket, and she went and took my niece out to on a shopping spree and stuff like that. I mean, it made memories for them that I wasn't even a part of, and that makes for a memorable Christmas on a budget. 2:31. Wow. All right, we'll skip this other thing I want to talk about. I didn't even really want to talk about it anyway. Let's do some movie reviews because we're going to be out of it for a couple weeks. So let's talk about One Good Cop. Michael Keaton was not funny. Remember he went through that phase where he wanted to why do I got to be the funny guy all the time? I got to be funny all the time. I want to do a dark comedy. So he did like One Good Cop. He did Batman, obviously. He also did it's all in the early 90s. What was the Pacific Heights, one with Matthew Modine and what's her name? That was a good movie too. But One Good Cop is not as good as a movie as Pacific Heights. It's interesting because he is kind of a good cop. All right. Michael Keaton is this New York cop. He's kind of a rough and tumble kind of guy. He's getting in fights and stuff like that. And his partner is Tony LaPaglia. I don't know if you know him. He's been in a bunch of stuff. Anthony LaPaglia. And Michael Keaton is married to Renee Russo, and they don't have any kids. Apparently, she was unable to. Anthony LaPaglia, though, his wife died, and he's raising his daughters by himself. And you could tell it's taking its toll on him. Anyway, Anthony LaPaglia gets killed early in the movie during an arrest. Catches a bullet to the head. And the girls are orphaned. And so Michael Keaton, being a good cop, starts to take care of his partner's kids who now have no one. But it's just this couple in New York. They have this tiny apartment. And there's 3 girls all of a sudden living in the apartment. And the Department of Children's Services, or whatever they're called, they came and say, this is a really small apartment for all these people. You got to get a bigger place. And so Michael Keaton, he decides to rob a criminal so he could put a $25,000 down payment on a house. 1991, is it? $25K put a down payment on a house in New York. 91, yeah. And then he gives the rest to the church, but then the priest takes $200 out of it and takes the kids to the zoo or something like that, or a museum, and nobody arrests the priest. He stole money too. All right. I don't want to give away the ending, but you know, he's got this responsibility now, this sudden, you know, these 3 girls that he wants to take care of. One of them is a diabetic and needs insulin shots daily. And it's interesting because it's 1991 and Rene Russo's character is realistic because these kids come into her life and she's all of a sudden finds purpose in her life by taking care of the kids. She's like, I always wanted kids, and it's like we got this second chance, and I want to take hold of it, and it's like I feel like I got purpose now. They don't do that in movies anymore. You don't see women characters in movies saying, you know, finding their meaning and purpose in life by raising children. For many women, that is going to give you your life meaning and purpose. But they don't show characters like that anymore in the movies. Female characters like that in the movies. They're all career oriented, and I ain't got time. They're all lesbians anyway in the movies. You know what I mean? it's they don't make movies like this anymore. So I don't want to spoil the ending. 9 of 13 stars though. It's family drama. You know, there's cute scenes between him and the girls and stuff like that. You know, the joy of having children and so forth is shown, and it's a little cheesy at times, but it's also a lot of crazy violent stuff is happening for the sake of these children, and that's kind of like I don't know, makes it what's that called? The moral ambiguity of it. You know, your motives may be pure, but you know, their methods are illegal. It's an interesting movie in that regard, and Michael Keaton wasn't funny. Always lose a star or two for that. Michael Keaton. All right. I'll wet my whistle. So I read this one movie called Alpha, 2018 movie. I wonder, how long has it been going?
I don't know.
Hell. Dead battery. Test, test, test. You got me now?
Yep.
All right.
Hopefully it wasn't gone too long.
Let's see here. Mo let. All right, Mo. I wonder.
Okay. I don't know.
I hope the audio wasn't out too long. Let's see here. This is fun. Oh,
You can do it.
yeah, it was out for a long time, dude.
People. I say, here are the rules. You can open that game out, and you went and took. Remember, he went through that phase because he take care of his partner's
Don't worry about that. You
kids
can
who now have no.
All right. Sorry. Well, at least I have 2 weeks to edit the crap out of this video. All right, let's keep moving. Biden's corrupt. Virginia teacher. A lot of staff disagreed. The teachers in Virginia, they've been mandated to use students' preferred pronouns. Some people quit, and as well they should. And there's one quote I want to read. It's like blah blah blah. Do not support hiding or withholding information for parents.
Take a look at this. When AI models are open source, they're available to all.
In the middle of alpha.
Yeah. I've told this story before. I went back to my classroom and wrote down a summary, what I just heard. I wrote, I can't lie. I'm not going to lie to kids, and I'm not going to lie to parents. This is a quote from one of the teachers. That's the point. You cannot force me to lie. And a lot of it seems like you're trying to force people into breaking a commandment. Thou shalt not bear false witness. That's a dude. That's a girl. You know? That's the whole point. Anyway. Yeah, this has been a mess. I am so sorry, everybody. That guy is like, oh, I should never have given this asshole money. What was that? I should have never gave you money. From Chappelle Show. Rick James. What you talking? What are you talking about, bitch? I'm Rick James. I hate you tonight. He honestly forgot. Food fight erupts as woman claims family spiked her vegetarian meals with meat. Social media reacts. That's not cool. That's not cool. Basically, this chick was a vegan for a while. Then she stopped being vegan because she didn't want to die. And so, but the family now she eats meat. And so the family has been telling her, it's like, yeah, when you're a vegetarian, we would like, cook your vegetables in bacon grease or whatever, just to fuck with you. And they would like, yeah, we try to sneak meat to you because we need you. We know you needed the protein. All right. Here's the thing though. I hate mushrooms. And my mom, every now and then, she'll be like, "You like that, huh? I put mushrooms in it." And I hate you so much when you do stuff like that. You know, it's like slipping. It's like slipping drugs into Bert Kreischer's drink. It's unethical. You know, if you want to tell somebody you need to eat meat or you're going to die, you don't just like sneak it into their food. You have to reason with them with logic and so forth. Okay, it's not cool to slip stuff into people's food. All right, because I hate mushrooms, and when you sneak it into my food, it really pisses me off. Last story, and then we're out of here, and then I am going to spend the next 2 weeks clipping the shit out of this. All right. Tuna melt stinking up a plane prompts fellow passengers viral video. Oh, my Lord. Passenger on a plane sniffed out another traveler's foul-smelling food in a viral video. Food. Recently posted on social media. Xavier Torrance, 25, told Fox News Digital he was on the second leg of his trip from West Virginia to Tampa, Florida, about a week ago when someone in the seat behind him decided to eat a tuna melt and was stinking up the entire plane. Torrance didn't say anything to the passenger who opted for a toasted fish sandwich, but he did share his thoughts on TikTok with his TikTok followers. Because why are we eating tuna melt on a flight? Torrance wrote in the caption of his 5-second video, 5-second video going viral. Anyway, video has more than 713,000 views as of Friday afternoon. Honestly didn't expect to blow up the way it did. The reason why it blew up is that it, quote, on the screen, it says, strongly believe that people who eat on flight should need to be incarcerated for 10 days. You know, you're so stupid. I like tuna melts. I hate fish. I hate seafood, but I like tuna melts. You get like a nice, good grill on it, you know, like that. Get like Swiss cheese. Yeah. Because it's tuna fish and mayonnaise. I understand it's fish, but tuna is the least funky fish that there is. Especially when you mix it with mayonnaise. Top it with cheese and grill it and get maybe a couple of Ripple potato chips. Damn, I'm hungry. Let's go. Well, you know, if you're on a flight, and I don't know if you know this about how big the world is, but it's quite big, and it may take like 10 hours to fly somewhere. You expect people not to eat? And I think the issue is like the reason why people are bringing food onto the airplane is because they stopped doing like meals on airplanes. I remember back flying in the day where you'd get a meal on your plane trip. If it was a short enough plane trip, you'd get like a package of peanuts or something like that and a soda, you know? And that was fine. But if I was on a 6-8 hour flight, been on plenty back in the day, you'd get a meal. Now that doesn't happen anymore. And you know what the great idea about, or the great thing about serving meals on a plane is that everyone has one of two options. You know what I mean? It's not all these crazy ass people bringing their shit in from home. And the way, because if you've lived in like an apartment building and you start like walking up the flights of stairs and you smell all the crazy fucking the smells coming from everyone's apartment at dinner time, you know, that's what people are bringing on the planes. But if everyone's having the same gastrointestinal input, everyone's farts smell the same. Everyone's bells smell the same. Everyone has to go to the bathroom at the same time. And anybody, you can't complain. You can't.
Going to the bathroom at the same time.
That's the problem. Yeah, okay. But the point is like, if they're serving tuna melts on the plane that day, then nobody would whine about it. The point is that one person brought a tuna melt, and it changed the whole olfactory experience of the airplane. Anyway, they should put foods back on flights. I want to remind you again that I have a Patreon. Go to patreon.com/shockmonkeyradio. Become a patron today. If and when I change it, I'll let you know. Or you can send me money through Cash App. Use the hashtag shockmonkeyradio, all one word. Or you can like get like every single one of you get like 3 of your friends to subscribe, so I can start asking, you know, using YouTube to take donations. Follow me on social media at DNALETSAW on Twitter. It's the word wasteland spelled backwards on Twitter. At SLRobbins13 and Shock Monkey Radio Redux on Facebook. I hope you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. This has been Shock Monkey Radio. I'm the Madman, and I love you.